Good afternoon. My name is John Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Shippensburg Historical Society. And today, obviously, I'm working from home because of the conditions that we're living in. But that doesn't mean we don't have to stop educating or trying to get word out about what our institution does. One of the things I brought with me this year is the fact that I want to concentrate on educational programs. So today, mind the noise outside, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you a sample of one of the more popular programs I've given. This one here I've done down at Antietam National Battlefield, South Mountain State Battlefield, Monterey Pass. I've given it to numerous youth groups, from Boy Scouts to different school groups themselves. And what is that? Tools of the Civil War soldier. And of course I can do this program dressed as a Union soldier like I am now, or dressed as a Confederate soldier. Doesn't matter, I usually let that up to the team leader themselves. So, with Shippensburg, we know in August of 1862, a lot of men enlisted in Company D of the 130th Pennsylvania. They didn't realize that when they were signing up that there was going to be a massive push or an invasion northward, which resulted in the Maryland Campaign of 1862. So a lot of these guys who enlisted in the 130th, their baptism of fire came on September 17, 1862, at a place called Antietam, where they saw combat for the first time at a place called Bloody Lane. So when you enlisted in the Union Army, you were issued a uniform, and I'm wearing the dress uniform of a Union soldier, which consists of a frock coat, trousers, brogans, as well as a hat. But a lot of the soldiers, when they were issued a fatigue uniform, they preferred to wear the fatigue uniform because of the comfort that it had and because of how durable the material was. It was very lightweight and didn't restrict your movements. Some of the other things you would have been issued would have been socks, underwear, as well as a dominant flannel wool shirt. This was worn over top of an undershirt. You were issued a knapsack, which contained all your personal belongings, whether it be a blanket, shelter half, in which two soldiers would pin these together to make a small tent, as well as a gum blanket for foul weather days. That way you could wrap this around your body to try to help keep you dry. Personal items would have been kept in this compartment here, and that could have consisted of maybe a hygiene kit, such as a washcloth, a camp mirror, razor, toothpaste, as well as a toothbrush. You could carry your wallet with your money in it, or because of the fact that you were only issued so many articles of clothing per year, it was up to you to go ahead and keep everything in tip-top condition. So I may want to even carry a housewife, which contains things like scissors, thread, needles, buttons, patches. To fight off those bored days, I may carry a pack of cards or dominoes or even marbles. Because of the fact that you're serving out on the front line, and because of the fact that the military didn't issue a lot of things, care packages from home containing maybe scarves, extra socks, blankets, or even underwear, maybe different food rations that were lacking from what the military wasn't giving you. Those were sent home from the ladies' societies. You were issued a canteen, and if you notice, this is gray. This has nothing to do with North or South, but basically what this did was this gave you the wearer a more of a uniform look when they had this on. You were usually issued a tin plate. As far as utensils, you would have a spoon, fork, and knife, a tin cup. But as the war was dragging on, a lot of the soldiers finally figured the more that they recycled, the less they would have to carry. So they may save a can of peaches here. And what happens with that is that you can turn that into a mucket, plant your bayonet into your ground, and put this right over top of the campfire. This way you can cook your coffee or whatever you were planning on cooking up. Sutlers usually follow the Army, so rather than carry 3 utensils, they make it what's called a fork, knife, spoon combo. And when you're done with it, you put them together, fold it down. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the time period. It's very compact. Now you notice I don't have a skillet or a large pot, and that's because what I did is I took the canteen, threw it in the fire to melt the lead soldering, and I created what was called a canteen half. This way I could put this on the fire, cook my salt pork and hardtack in this, so it serves as a frying pan. It can also serve as a small bowl as well as a plate. So between this, that, and this, I just eliminated the need of all this. And the reason I would do that is because in 1862, during the Maryland campaign particularly, the average Union soldier carried about 45 pounds on his back, as well as his musket. The average Confederate soldier was carrying about 20 to 25 pounds. And because of that, they were able to march further distances than what the Union Army was. So in 1863, before the Battle of Gettysburg, the Union Army went through all the specs. And because of getting rid of some of this baggage, some of those Union troops were able to march 20 to 30 miles a day, which was absolutely amazing. Your rations were kept in what was known as a haversack. And rations could be in poke bags. They could be like coffee, sugar. You can carry salt pork with you. If you were in the South and sugar was not in high demand, you could carry definitely molasses. So any kind of ration that was issued to you was carried in a haversack. Now this is what the quartermaster department would issue you. Now your ordnance department would issue the belt you're wearing, scabbard which held your bayonet, a cap pouch which kept all your percussion caps into. And this is what ultimately fired the gun or created the spark to ignite the black powder charge. And he also had a cartridge box that held 40 rounds of ammunition. And here's what a cartridge would look like. So you would have a projectile, whether it be a mini ball like this, or maybe a round ball like that. And then you had a couple grains of black powder. So 40 rounds would go there. Some of the Union soldiers in this time period also were issued up to 60 rounds, in which they would keep 20 rounds in their trouser pockets. If you notice one thing, I have a little pouch here on my cartridge box, and that's because when I was issued my weapon, I had to take care of it. So anytime that the weapon fouled or wasn't working properly, I would have a combo tool. This would basically take the nipple or the cone off the rifle, and this would serve as your screwdriver in order to take the rifle apart. If for some reason it was raining, because you got to figure, if you're loading a rifle like that and it's raining and your barrel and the powder happens to get wet, your gun's going to misfire. Well, you have a bullet stuck in here still. So they gave you a bullet puller, and a bullet puller attaches to the end of the ramrod. And you just run it down, screw it in, and pull the bullet out. They also gave you a wiper, and that's what a wiper looks like. That way you can run it down as then to clean the rifle. A lot of these rifle muskets were also issued a tampion that protected the barrel while you're marching during cold weather. Because when you're marching, the barrel is always facing up. So, aside from that, you were issued your musket or your rifled musket. What that means, rifled musket, is that you have a musket that has rifling inside. These are very accurate. This one here was imported in from England, so it's known as an Enfield rifled musket. England sold a lot of arms, at least their contractors to the military sold a lot of arms to both Union and the Confederate armies. So hopefully when this crisis is freed up and we're starting able to hang out in large gatherings or at least large crowds, if you're interested in having me come out to your organization to do the whole entire Tools of the Civil War program, please by all means feel free to email me at john.miller@shippensburghistory.org. Until next time, stay safe everybody.